You know those kind of people who like do something nice for you that you didn't ask for and then get like angry at you for some reason for doing it? That's me today. I'm gonna tell them, I'm gonna be useful, I'm gonna straighten my fucking hair so they can see unevenness of the tone. And the more I was like going at my hair with the straightener, the angrier I got, like as if like I was abusing myself, doing the favor to this unknown audience of people who never asked for it.
Hi, I'm Maria Miliora. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something that you guys requested. It's a little bit of a detour from our usual fancy perfume talk, but people ask me about my hair. I have been tinting it with two competitors on the market, and I've actually tested quite a few shades, and as I said, I'm going to do a comparison of Overtone and LimeCrime today. I did my due diligence. I actually bought two full sets from Overtone. That was actually the first thing that I decided to do. Actually, you know what? Let me back up. Let's talk about what we're starting with. This is my natural hair. Well, obviously tinted. My natural hair, I used to be blonde when I was a child, just naturally blonde. And then, this is like typical for Slavic hair, they kind of get to these dirty blonde stage when you grow up. Kind of like caramel blonde, I would say, is like a nice way to call it. It's actually like gray, green, not the super pretty color. So I started dyeing them like as soon as I could put my hands on a dye. So I had a number of different colors through the years, but it never really occurred to me to use just tints on my hair. So I always go through the full dye and tone kind of thing. And most of the time I use boxed dyes. So way too many bad hair jobs that costed hundreds of dollars, and they were looking worse than if you did it by yourself. So that's that's my story with hair dyeing. Not a big fan of professional hair dyeing unless you really know who you're going to work with, the hair expert. And at some point, I was kind of like this bleached blonde. I just started growing it out. So my hair has been in this natural state for probably 2 years now. So it's fully grew out. It's fully what the natural shade is. And this summer I started lightening it with the John Frieda blonde spray. You know, these like vinegar stuff, like it's basically like either lemon acid and vinegar, and then you spray it on the roots, and then you go like either style your hair with hot tools or just take a walk in the sun. It just gradually lightens the roots a little bit. So if you don't overdo it, this is a very soft and less damaging way to kind of golden the dirty blonde that I had, because mine was very gray green, kind of like it wasn't, I mean, since I live in California, like it was fairly caramel because of the sun exposure, but still I wanted to be a little bit more golden. So that was that. So basically the top layer of my hair is a little bit lighter than, let me try to show you, than what's inside. That's a little bit darker, but that's a very natural, very like light process. So no actual peroxide or any kind of like ammonia stuff. So now we're getting to so there is all this talk that there's like new generation of dyes that really stick to the hair, don't damage the hair, don't, discolor your skin, or like don't transfer to the clothing and stuff, don't bleed, blah 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 blah. And almost like every company all of a sudden started making those. I think it's mostly that it's in vogue, that it's kind of trendy, rather than, I'm not sure I buy the new generation of dyes marketing story. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm not sure. I think like we know a lot about dyes already. I'm not sure what kind of scientific discoveries that were made in the recent years that just unlocked this new generation of dyes. Maybe you correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's just the fashion of it. So the first one that I decided to try on my natural hair was Overtone. that was like highly recommended by my friend, who said it was like a great thing and her hair never felt better. It's like there's some conditioning ingredient in Overtone dyes that is just incredible. And there's no chemical processing, it's literally just the color tint with some stabilizers that like help the color grip to your hair, but it still naturally washes off with time. And the conditioning ingredients are so amazing that people swear by this product. What I did, I bought, I don't have all of them here, but I bought two full sets. I bought a full set of Overtone Vibrant Pink, and this is partially what's on my hair right now. So I bought the deep coloring conditioner that comes in a jar like this, and there is, how much is here? I think this is an important point of discussion, 8 fluid ounces. I can show you what's inside. It's like completely empty, so I actually use them all up, so I know what I'm talking about in terms of the longevity and like reapplication. So the full sets come with like this 8 fluid ounce sort of deep conditioning dye, or tint, probably dye is not the right word. And I'm not sure if I brought all of them here, but each set comes with a daily conditioner, which is also 8 ounce, and a travel conditioner. I think it's 2 ounce for travel. So usually like the 3 things they make a set, comes beautifully packaged, really good presentation. That, I don't remember how much it cost, but I'll leave you a link below. The problem with Overtone for me is that there is no place where I could really try it and see like swatches and touch them. And it's, to my knowledge, only sold on their website. So it's still fairly niche, fairly new, but the reviews were just glowing. And since my friend, who has like no reason to lie to me or like oversell me on anything, she was just raving about it. And she has naturally kind of frizzy curly hair, and she loved it. She had like a deep blue highlights. So I bought myself two colors, Vibrant Pink, full set, and Pastel Purple, full set. Another thing that you should know about all of these sort of ammonia-free, any like heavy chemicals-free dyes and tints, that you can easily mix them. I actually been mixing things from different brands, I had no problem whatsoever. It's literally like a dye with some conditioning ingredients. So there's nothing there to really chemically react with each other. So that works pretty well, so you can mix and match and almost like mix your own shade with whatever you have. That's what I've been doing. I found that the Vibrant Pink, well, right now it's the second week. You can see that it's fairly washed off. And what's really important to note that on dirty blonde hair, any hair that is not completely bleached, the results are heavily unpredictable. I learned you're better off dyeing your hair any color, the lighter the better, because that will give you the most even application, because all of the hair has the same texture. I was under like delusional belief that natural hair have the same texture. Not at all. I learned so much about my hair texture when I just blindly, naively applied the whole dye to the whole head. And like the roots here became like just screaming neon pink. Things at the forehead and deeper remained almost like this weird gray. The ends were kind of like lighter pastel pink. So like it was almost all 50 shades of possible pink, from pink to green to the same kind of caramel color to gray. And I could not understand what was going on. There was no dye applied to my hair. The only thing that's different is that some hair are thinner than some others. Like on the back, they're naturally thicker for everyone. Then like at the very front, they're thinner and more porous. Usually where the hair is exposed to sun, they're also more responsive to any tint or any dye. So that's the result that I got. A lot of my coworkers said this actually looks fun. I don't know, they were just trying to be nice. But that's something that I have to like tell you straight on. If you didn't chemically dye your hair and you're applying any of these colors except for maybe black or super dark and rich ones, the results, the intensity of the color will be random. It will never be even. So the only way to actually get bright pink or bright green or whatever color you're going for, you will still have to dye them. You'll still have to damage your hair to get an even color, because apparently natural hair are the worst for even application of dyes. Who knew? Obviously I didn't. So then I tried to do an ombre. So I applied a sort of deeper purplish color by this was my second purchase actually, after I tried Overtone, and this is LimeCrime New Tints. I got, oh boy, 7. So I can tell you a lot about those as well. Anyway, so once I started kind of toying with that, and I made peace that it would always be some kind of improvised ombre of some kind, and I will never know what the actual tint will look like until I actually apply it. I kind of just let go of control and just embrace this unevenness and like whatever that is. Also, one thing that I have to tell you about Overtone, it is truly an amazing conditioner. When I visited their website, they were kind of bragging about them making just a colorless deep conditioner like this that has no tint, because like by popular demand, you guys seem to love our conditioning ingredients. They're like so unique to the market. Everybody raves about them. People with curly hair, people with frizzy hair, people with straight hair, everybody loves them. And I was like, please, come on, you're just trying to like shill some money. But when I started actually using the daily conditioner and the deep conditioner, that's once a week, this is every day, or like every time I wash my hair, oh my god, my hair have never been shinier and better. It doesn't build up in my hair. My hair is super thin, have no volume whatsoever. So for me, it's very important. And they also can be very frizzy and split at the ends very easily because they're so dry and thin. So I both need moisture, but I cannot have any product build up, because otherwise it will look like I have like 3 little sad hair sneezes, if you wish. So this is the best conditioner I've ever used. It keeps them shiny, it keeps them healthy. They're both kind of voluminous but very soft. I'm completely sold on the conditioning ingredients part. Now I know what they're talking about, and to be honest, I will keep buying this just for the conditioning effect. I don't even care if it has a dye or not. I'm completely sold to their hair conditioning ingredients as like a general hair care product. When it comes to dyes, here we go to the competitor side of the story. When I used Overtone either, I guess they have like different pastel, bright and vibrant, and like super vibrant or neon versions of each particular shade. I got vibrant pink, but I got pastel purple, because when I looked at their swatches, vibrant purple seemed like it would make my hair too dark without giving them that necessary color boost. I'm not sold on the vibrant stable hair color story of Overtone, because I used both of the vibrant and the pastel completely up, and I religiously applied them and kept them for like 40 minutes with like a shower cap every weekend, and I still didn't get as vibrant and as long-lasting results as I got with LimeCrime. Right after I actually purchased these 2 expensive sets from Overtone, they are not cheap. And LimeCrime was selling theirs, and they have sort of more permanent tints and semi-permanent tints, and also like they kind of like basically ripped off Overtone with their idea. So they have like just daily conditioners, and LimeCrime has semi-permanent tints, which I guess would be the pastel versions of Overtone, and they're like permanent tints, which is not permanent but like longer lasting, but therefore darker in the effect that you get, that they call permanent. So I started with, so I have Pony, which is full coverage. I have Powder, which is gray blue, and that is just a tint, so it's semi-permanent. I have Oyster, which is a tint, and this is a kind of gray lilac. And I ordered 4 more. They just came in the box. I just wanted to show you the packaging. LimeCrime has beautiful boxes. I hope you can see. Pretty cool, huh? It's a pity I'll have to throw it away, but you know, looks good in the video. So, bought it with my own money. Neither company sponsored this video, just so you know. So the ones, okay, let me tell you all the shades, and then I'll tell you about the ones that I used and what's the difference between them. So I started with these 3 and I bought 4 more. So I bought Cloud, which is more of a periwinkle blue. So it's like blurple, between blue and purple. And this is a tint, so semi-permanent. Another Oyster, because I obviously like the results. And I also use it for mixing. We'll talk about it later. Strawberry Jam, which is a reddish pink. It is pink, but it has a red undertone. And that is a full coverage, so it's supposed to be longer lasting, but therefore darker. And the last one that I got is called Lipstick. Oh, let me correct myself. Purple Jam is more pink, but it has some reddish undertone. Lipstick, the shade Lipstick, which is also full coverage line, supposed to last longer, is more of a red with pink undertone. So this is more of like a raspberry red. And Strawberry Jam, I would say, is much closer to magenta, the way that I see it. I haven't used this too, so I can't really tell you for nuances of the differences. As I told you, they take very unevenly on natural hair. As I said, I have dirty blonde, so on darker hair, the tints start interacting with your natural hair color. And therefore, you have to actually think ahead about what color will compensate what color. If you, for example, in my case, I had more of a caramel kind of beige, if you wish, color. Then if you apply, for example, I once applied powder, which is light blue, but cool tone blue, and I got a green. That's what happens when you combine orange with blue, kind of like gray-green. That was really disappointing, to be honest. So if I want ever to get blue on my hair, I have to go with more purple, and then maybe it will bring it more toward gray-blue. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I figured by looking at the complementary color scheme that Overtone has. It's actually very useful for all the dyes. I really like Oyster, however, I didn't get this kind of results, and you'll never get it unless you completely bleach your hair. What I got with, instead of the gray lilac, was a very interesting, a bit dreamy shade of cool beige, almost with a bit of a lilac-y haze. So it seemed like the tint didn't change as much of the color of the hair as much it just gave it some sheen, if you wish. That was lilac-y. That was super cool. Lasted like 2 days at most. So when we talk about semi-permanent shades of LimeCrime or pastel shades of Overtone, I have to like disappoint some of you who think that they can like, oh, I can just use those tints and get those beautiful unicorn color and never damage my hair. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. If you want this effect, you'll have to bleach your hair first. If you're fine with having a sort of this like a little tint, little haze of lilac, actually, I don't even think I can get blue on Dirty Blonde, to be honest. It's just not working out so far. But I was very lucky with pink, red, and purple. So I applied Pony, which seems like a super dark purple, right? Like very cool toned. On me, it turned out to be way warmer, more of a fuchsia almost purple. That I found that to be very interesting. So there were parts, especially the ones that are bleached by sun or by that lightning spray, that looked a little bit more cool tone purple, but most of the hair looked this kind of warmer fuchsia color. And I actually liked it quite a bit. So I decided that I will use, like the best recipe that I found so far is picking out a longer lasting, either vibrant in Overtone or full coverage in LimeCrime. Pick the tone that is closest to what you like, to what you want to see, and then mix it with either bluer or more reddish or more lilac-y to kind of loosen the grip of the full coverage tone, almost kind of like dilute it for like the main shaft or whatever you're going for, to get it to the shade that you want it to be. And this is what I plan to do, and so far so good. So I managed to somehow wrap my brain around the color theory in the complementary colors to the natural color that I already have, and that's been working out much better. That said, I surprised myself that I never really had full head of like red or like super bright hair. But when I see this more pastel result, I hope you can see that. I straightened them for you, for God's sake. You better appreciate that. Anyway, nobody asked me to do it. Hope you can see this. So that sort of like a pink haze, right, on top of the dirty blonde. I like this less than I like brighter, more vibrant colors. It's almost like when you apply a more either vibrant overtone shade or a full coverage LimeCrime shade, I kind of get more iridescence to the hair. They're more interesting to look at. They almost like glow from within. While with this haze, I don't know, it's fine, but doesn't mesmerize me, to be honest. Next thing, the pricing. So for $16 with LimeCrime, you get 6.76, well, 200 milliliters. That's what it is. 200 milliliters of product. Here you get 237. A little bit more, but much more expensive. Therefore, if I were you, if I could do it all over again, I would buy the daily conditioner from Overtone, and I would try to like bundle it up, or even maybe like not necessarily tinted, maybe even colorless, because it's an amazing conditioner. Highly recommend you to try it. Again, I love it, and I have very thin, not very dense hair, and my friend who has super thick but very kind of curly, like it's almost like, is curly even the right word for it? It's like super small curl naturally, and very dry hair. She loves it too. So there's some magic in this conditioning ingredient that they put in here. I would buy just a tint or even colorless conditioner from Overtone. I would get a full coverage tint that's closest to what one you get, and again, first check the color wheel and see how you can complement it to get to the color that you want, because you will have, like, if you have warm hair color, you'll have to correct it to get to, like, let's say cooler tone purple. And then get a semi-permanent tint that will help you correct it to the necessary shade. That's what I would recommend. I hope that was somewhat useful. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'm happy to answer them. Overall, I had a lot of fun. It's so much fun. And actually, I was a little bit, I was not worried, but I was like, will people at work, like, react to it? Like, I don't know, like, you know, all these, like, fears of that you will not be perceived as a person of authority, or, you know, will not be as respected if you do something outrageous with your hair or whatever. People at work seem to love it. Like, nobody kind of gave me a side eye. Nobody whispered anything. People were like, oh, that's cool, that's pretty fun. So I didn't really notice any negative professional consequences for me playing with my hair every week, because I tint them these days. It's so much fun that every Saturday I start my weekend with choosing the tints, mixing it, doing basically a deep conditioning treatment, having my morning coffee, and then re-emerging with some crazy new color that washes off by the end of the week, or at least becomes very, very mild, and then I can start all over again. It's so much fun. So much fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if any more questions. I might have forgotten a few technical details or a few particular, nuances. So you just let me know. I will be happy to answer them. Last tip that I want to give you is about the hairsprays. I found this amazing combination that looks bomb if you first tint your hair and then apply this. Everybody has heard about them. Like, I've had them for like over a year, but they're not as popular. So L'Oreal has this Colorista sprays. So I'm showing you like a silver one. They have gold one and they have rose gold one. I love putting metallic hair color, but it's kind of like a hairspray. At the same time, it doesn't really fix the hair shape. It doesn't fix the hair as much as just gives you some metallic sheen. I love combining this with cool tone tints, even more so oyster. Oh my god. Especially when I'm having a bad hair day. I just put it all up in the bun and then just do light spray with the silver Colorista One Day Color. It's a glistens. It's so beautiful. Now imagine you're doing some reddish bright pink and you put some golden veil on top of it. It's just this, it's like rubies and gold on top of your head. I love these metallic hairsprays on top of the tinted hair. Highly recommend you to try it, and it's so easy, especially if you're like in a rush. Well, I guess in a rush you might not do anything besides just washing your hair. But if you're the kind of person who is in a rush, just puts things in the bun, right? Tries to do some kind of thing. And I usually put lightly a hairspray so the whole thing doesn't collapse on me in the middle of the day. So I do that quickly, and then I do very quickly just a light spray of metallic hairspray. It just makes it look like as if I spent 2 hours constructing that and looking so glam. It completely saves the day and actually makes my hair look kind of fancy. So yeah, that's my little tip for you if you're curious about how to give it that extra pizzazz. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a new video. Bye.